From the Hussman School of Journalism and Media at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
It's always a great day to be a Tar Heel, but it's even better after beating the rival team in Durham. Good morning and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm Olivia Mundorf.
And I'm Joshua Dolgoff. Thank you for joining us. Women's lacrosse had a big win last night at Duke, and we're going to talk all about that. But first, the Tar Heels tennis teams are down the road in Cary for the ACC tournament. UNC Tennis has an exciting weekend ahead as both teams are set to enter the ACC Tennis Championship in the quarterfinals today in Cary, North Carolina. The number 4 seeded men's team will look towards graduates Ryan Segerman and Brian Cernock to lead the way. Segerman just climbed to number 13 in doubles with partner Casey Kanya, and he clinched his last singles match against Miami in the final set. Cernock, despite coming off a singles loss against the Hurricanes, became the highest-ranked UNC men's player at 39 this past week. The team is set to serve off against the winner of Clemson and Florida State at 3:30 today. And for the number 1 ranked UNC women's team, we've said it before and we'll say it again, this team is stacked. UNC has 5 athletes ranked in the top 40 of collegiate tennis players, including number 1 Fiona Crawley. Not only are the players ranked, but they're consistent, such as Annika Yarlagata, who is 9-0 in ACC play, and Elizabeth Scotty, who's 20-3 overall. UNC started competing against Wake Forest at 10 o'clock this morning. The women look to trek on in their historic season for an undefeated national championship. But the road starts in Cary today to take down some top ACC competition. Let's go live to Lee Jeffries at Cary Tennis Park for a live update on how the Heels are doing. Lee, how's it looking out there?
Behind me, where we just had Elizabeth Scotty and Reese Brantmeyer compete in doubles, and they won 6-2. Then Fiona Crawley just competed in singles, and she won as well. The Tar Heels are now 4-0. I can't wait to see how the rest of this day goes for the Heels. That's it here in Cary. I'll toss it back to you all in Chapel Hill.
Be watching scores and cheering them on. The women's lacrosse team made the short trip to Durham to take on those pesky Devils for their final regular season game. The Tar Heels sputtered out of the gate as Duke dominated them in the first period, shooting out to a 5-1 lead. In the second quarter, the Heels found success by attacking Duke's defenders one-on-one, like this goal by Alyssa Long. And it was Long who beat the second period buzzer with this sweet run and goal to send the game to half, 6-5 in favor of Duke. The second half was a back-and-forth battle. Melissa Scanoni kept the Heels in it with 2 goals, and Caitlin Wurzberger scored her own for her 100th career goal as a Tar Heel. Carolina just couldn't keep Duke's methodical offense off the scoreboard, with the Devils fighting to keep it a close game late. A costly turnover from UNC gave Duke one final chance to tie the game, but as time expired, they just couldn't find the back of the net. The Tar Heels escaped Durham with a 13-12 victory. The UNC women's lacrosse team is headed into ACC championship weekend after finishing their regular season Thursday afternoon just down the road. On Sunday, the Heels will be looking to leading goal scorer Marissa White to continue to earn points early on. The connection between Wurzberger and Riley Casey has also been crucial for the team this season, especially with their ability to feed the ball. After Casey and Caroline Godin struggled to find the back of the net against Syracuse, the two of them will need to work to place their shots around the goalie. On the other side of the field, the Heels are going to have to continue to work on tight defense because open players creates open shots for the other team, which the Tar Heels cannot afford this weekend.
On the club level, UNC sports are finishing out the season and semester strong, and one particular team is gearing up while wearing goggles. Here's Dylan Gentner with the story.
For multi-sport athletes, burnt-out high school lacrosse players, and new players alike, UNC Rec Women's Lacrosse has become a landing spot.
Yeah, so in high school, I played a sport every season. I played tennis in the fall, I swam in the winter, and I played lacrosse in the spring. And then here, I also play on the club tennis team. I picked up the stick for the first time, I think, probably in like 8th grade. And then I started playing for there. In high school, I played varsity for 4 years, and I also played on some club teams. And then came here, I decided to join rec.
So I started my freshman year of high school. And the day before tryouts, I broke my ankle playing lacrosse and started out as a captain coming back. And it's just been like, it was the best experience ever. But the team was very different in high school.
People were a lot more intense about winning. There was rivalries, and we wanted to go conference champions, all of that. There wasn't as much space for fun as it was here.
With fun and friendship as some of the primary motivators, this rec team hosts anywhere from 12 to 20 athletes on Dorrance Field 2 nights a week. As a growing team made up primarily of underclassmen, its members rely on peer coaching to sharpen their skills in advance of tournaments multiple times a semester.
And it's just a way to get some exercise and try to fall back in love with the sport if you haven't, if you fell out of it, if things were too much.
And it's been the best thing that has happened to me at Carolina. I've made friends that I will have outside of college, after college.
It's been my one sense of peace throughout the chaos of college.
We have an amazing group of girls. Nobody is going to care if you're not at your top level anymore.
I'm Dylan Gentner, reporting.
Hills on three, Hills on three. 1, 2, 3, Hills!
This Saturday at 11 a.m., you can find them taking on UNC Charlotte at Findlay. Win or lose, these athletes are taking home a true win.
The number 18 Diamond Heels will continue a 9-game homestand at Boshamer Stadium this weekend against number 20 Boston College, with hopes of getting back on track in conference play. Carolina is coming off a crushing series defeat at the hands of Miami that saw each game decided by only 1 run, and its grasp on second place over the Hurricanes dwindle to half a game in the ACC Coastal Division. The Eagles have the most road wins among ACC teams, led by pitcher Chris Flynn, who ranks top 5 in wins and strikeouts this season. But the Heels bats continue to consistently produce, led by Mac Horvath, who battled 3 for 4 on Tuesday with 3 runs and 2 RBIs against Charlotte. Let's bring in our baseball analyst, Landon Elliott, for more on the Diamond Heels.
Thanks, Olivia. There's a lot of sayings and acronyms we text each other. LOL, OMG, and TGIF. Speaking of that, thank God it's Friday. But the Diamond Heels need to learn KYP, know your personnel. Or should I say, know your pitchers. Starting off the game on that beautiful Tuesday Chapel Hill afternoon, the Heels couldn't get anything going on the scoreboard. Granted, Charlotte almost put their entire bullpen, playing 7 pitchers in just 8 innings. Former East Surrey High School baseball player and Sports Extra legend Tyler Chilton told me something midway through this contest. His former pitcher, A.J. Wilson, right here, who now pitches for Charlotte, can't throw a fastball and really struggles to locate his pitches. Well, Wilson actually managed to get a strikeout and allowed just 1 hit in all of his 1-inning pitch. So how does a pitcher who doesn't throw a fastball have almost a perfect inning? Well, Charlotte tried to confuse the Heels with different pitches and their different type of pitchers. So let's go right here to the board, and we're going to see A.J. Wilson striking out Hunter Stokely. And look at the bases. They're loaded. We're going to miss a huge opportunity on that one. And A.J. Wilson, again, with another pitch to Tomas Frick. And Tomas does a good job making contact, but he hits the end cap of the ball. And Charlotte's going to get Mac Horvath out at second. And that's going to end the inning with another opportunity with all the bases loaded. And we're going to see on this next pitch right here, this is just the second pitcher in my analysis, but 1 of 7 on the game. So we're going to see right here, it's going to be a ball to Mac Horvath. Horvath does a good job of noticing when it was high, but on this next play right here, Mac Horvath adjusts, and he's going to hit it out the park. So fortunately, the Heels were able to figure it out. And who else but Mac Horvath to do the honors? This home run on Charlotte, Sam Conti, their 6th pitch of the game, was able to stretch out the Heels' lead and finally separate themselves from their American Conference opponent. UNC needs to watch their film before going into the series against Boston College in case they decide to come out with an entire basketball roster of pitchers. Starting off games, I expect UNC to be used to a big pitching rotation in the future. Remember, always know your personnel and always know your pitchers.
Thanks, Landon. Now, Joshua, BC is one of the hottest teams in the ACC. They're one of the best teams in the country. Who is that key player for UNC to get it done this weekend?
Olivia, I have to go with my guy, Hunter Stokely. He's batting .469 in his last 8 games. He's an excellent big hitter in the middle of the lineup, awesome with the runners in scoring position, really good against righties, not so much against lefties, and he might need to pull up some walk-off magic for us to win again. But at the same time, Olivia, the pitching really needs to bring their A game to the mound.
I agree. The pitching for Carolina is a huge factor. The Heels desperately need quality outings from their starting pitchers, and the bullpen has to finish the game. The longer that Connor Bovair, Carlson, and Knapp can go, the better chances that the Heels have against BC.
No doubt, Olivia. And while the fans were packing the Bosch, Hubert Davis has been working in the transfer portal, and last night he delivered. as the men's basketball team secured its third transfer in former Notre Dame guard Cormac Ryan. Ryan, a 6'5" graduate transfer, will spend his last year of remaining eligibility with the Heels. He started his career with 1 season at Stanford, took a redshirt in his first year at Notre Dame, and then played the last 3 seasons for the Irish. He averaged 12.3 points, 4 rebounds, and 2.5 assists this past season on 41, 34, 83% shooting splits. He's a 2-time ACC All-Academic Team selection, and it was the Irish captain for the last 3 seasons. After his official visit in Chapel Hill on Wednesday, Ryan said he ultimately chose Carolina because he felt a strong connection with Hubert Davis. Ryan joins Louisville forward Jalen Withers and Brown guard Paxton Wojcik as UNC's offseason portal additions to date.
The men's lacrosse team looks to close out their regular season road games with a bang as they travel to South Bend on Saturday in hopes of topping off the #1 ranked Fighting Irish. Notre Dame is a talented team, offensively led by brothers Pat and Chris Kavanaugh. UNC's defensive unit will have to step up early to stop this duo. And on the other side of the field, the Heels will be looking for Logan McGovern and Andrew Tyre, who's coming off a record-setting ground ball and impressive face-off performance to keep up their competitive shot percentages against the Irish's star goalie, Liam Entenmann. And what's better than playing #1 once? Playing them twice. This game opens up a back-to-back series against Notre Dame for the Heels. The face-off is set for noon on Saturday. For more about Carolina's matchup with the Fighting Irish and what needs to be done for the Heels to secure this big win, let's bring in our men's lacrosse analysts, Riley Kennedy and Jay Banzette. Guys.
That's right, Olivia. The men's lacrosse team has a huge matchup. First of 2, we'll play them tomorrow, and then Carolina will play them here in 2 weeks. They'll get a week off. Riley, Notre Dame's got the Kavanaugh brothers. Matt played 5 or 6 years ago. The younger 2, Pat and Chris, dynamic offensive duo. What makes them special?
Yeah, for Pat and Chris, right? 50 and 51 in white. I mean, these guys are just ballers, right? The offensive instincts, they're always in the right place. They're heads up. They're always spinning the ball, sit in pockets. I mean, they just seem to always make the best plays.
That's right. They grew up together. They're brothers. They get another key we'll look at. They really get after it on the ride. When you have the ball and you're trying to clear from your defense to your offense, you better look out because one of these 2 Kavanaugh brothers is coming, and they're coming to put the ball on the deck. And then the third thing we'll look at is their consistency.
Yeah, the consistency kind of pairs up with the offensive instincts. I mean, Chris, he's the goal scorer, and Pat, he's the assist guy. Chris has multiple goals in every game, 8 hat tricks in 9 games. And Jay, for Pat, he has multiple assists in every game. 4 out of the last 9 games, or out of all their 9 games, he's had 5+ assists.
Yeah, they're a really dynamic offensive duo. We'll take a look at some clips from their Duke game last week.
Yeah, right in this offensive set, Notre Dame's going to get a good look, right? Right on the doorstep, it's going to be safe. Watch Pat, right? He's going to go to the crease. It's a behind-the-back pass to a behind-the-back shot. I mean, Pat just seems to always be in the best spot.
The unlimited creativity. We talked about it earlier. Duke has an ideal situation. They are clearing the ball. They have gotten the ball to their short stick D midi. Pat is going to turn it back to Chris. Wrap check, turn the ball over in midfield. They get after it in the ride. We'll speed it up here to get their offensive set. We'll swing it down near the substitution box and bring it right up the top of the screen. Alley dodge is coming. Going to swing it behind. One more pass. Find the back of the net, bottom left corner. The ride directly leads to a goal.
Right, and then on this extra man up, it's going to be Chris to Pat, and then it's going to be Pat to Chris. Pat passes right back to Chris. It's a step-down shot, extra man up, time and space.
Offside hip, money in the bank. Off the draw, Notre Dame's going to have this loose ball. This is their consistency. They don't give up. Pat has a chance now. He's got the wide open shot. He's got an even better shot for his brother. He's going to find him on the front post, and they're going to score. Notre Dame beat Duke last week in the 1v2 matchup. 3 keys to the game: offensive instincts. They've grown up together. They know each other better than anybody else does. The ride, you saw them, they get after it when they don't have the ball, and the consistency. They produce every game at an elite level. Riley, Carolina's got its hands full tomorrow.
Yeah, UNC, they just haven't seen anything like Notre Dame or the Kavanaugh brothers. They played for Virginia, but Schellenberger was out. They've played Duke. I mean, they just haven't seen anybody like this. And then for DraftKings, for you bettors out there, Notre Dame's favored by 6. Jay, what are you taking? You taking Notre Dame?
I'm taking Notre Dame -6. Like, Carolina just has struggled against ranked teams recently. That's the reality of the situation. Notre Dame in South Bend, really hard to beat. They beat number 2 Duke last week. I don't see how Carolina's going to get done, but they've got to stop these 2 to be able to do it.
We have Notre Dame -6. Back to you guys.
I don't know. I'm taking the Heels. I have faith in them. But thanks, guys. The field hockey team is preparing to face Stanford on Saturday in what is their spring season finale. In the 2022 season, the Heels took a trip to California and swept the game with a 6-0 win. On Stanford's turf, goals from Katie Dixon, Kennedy Cliggett, Ashley Sessa, Lisa Slinker, and 2 from Riley Heck gave the Heels a massive victory. Stanford had no answer for UNC's fiery offense, and the Carolina defense only allowed 2 shots from the Cardinal and kept them scoreless for the entire game. The Heels look to repeat that dominant performance when the two teams face off at Karen Shelton Stadium at noon. 4 players on the field hockey team are entering the season with new hardware as members of the U21 women's field hockey national team. Charlie Bruder, Katie Dixon, Riley Heck, and Kirsten Thomasay won gold medals at the Junior Pan American Championship on Tuesday, defeating Argentina in a shootout.
On Wednesday night, the Campbell Camels came to Anderson Stadium to face the Carolina softball team. The Heels got off to a hot start in the first inning with senior Bree Stubbs launching her first home run of the season, scoring Alex Brown. Kirsten Lisea followed suit by sending another bomb over the center field wall. Let's go to the top of the third. Camels' Madeline Gillespie hits a ball to right field, but Skylar Brooks makes the catch and fires a cannon to first base for the double play to end the inning. UNC took the dub 5-1. Here's Stubbs on how they got off to such a great start.
I think it's always crucial to get the run on the board first to get our team energy on the field. So I think that was pretty important to get the runs across the board in the first inning.
UNC Club Pickleball has won not 1, but 3 more national championship titles, this time at the DUPR Individual Collegiate National Championship in Fort Worth, Texas. 4 UNC athletes traveled to compete in the men and women's singles and the men's, women's, and mixed doubles. Colin Schick, a UNC medical student and former NC State men's tennis player, led the team to all 3 titles last weekend. Schick won men's singles in straight sets against the University of Florida. Alongside Club co-presidents Hunter Boyd and Sarah Carpenter, Schick helped lead the team to the men's and mixed doubles championship title, respectively. After dropping the first set to the University of Florida, Schick and Boyd bounced back in the second and third set. Schick and Carpenter battled Utah Tech, taking the first and third set. The team won $2,000 for each win, totaling $6,000 in scholarship funds.
So it's so much fun that we're getting to compete in all of these different tournaments. We're going to be playing in Charlotte. There's a regional qualifier that we're going to go to as a team. So that'll be super fun. That's over the summer.
You know, Joshua, it's NBA playoff season, and we have to highlight a couple former Tar Heels who threw down some of the best dunks in the playoffs so far.
Once I saw these on social media on Monday, I knew we had to break them down. Let's start with Game 2 in Philly. Nets and Sixers, Cam Johnson on the wing. He's cutting to the basket, and bam! Throws down a hammer on 7-footer, most likely to be MVP Joel Embiid. Here are a couple more angles. Cameron Johnson just throwing it down with authority, but that's not the only dunk of the night.
No, it wasn't. On the same night, former Tar Heel Harrison Barnes, early in the game, picks up the loose ball, and he goes up on Klay Thompson with one hand, gets the crowd in Sacramento fired up. Here's another look at that. The Kings would go on to win Game 2.
Olivia, those posters were so good. I might have to put them up in my room.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but we also have to talk about those were some great plays. The Sports Extra play of the week, because once again, the winner comes from the Diamond Heels. Game 2 against Miami, bottom of the 11th inning, 2 outs, and Hunter Stokely hits a walk-off home run, almost all the way to Karen Shelton Stadium out in right field to secure the win for the Heels, 9-8.
Carolina Club Boxing is moving up the ranks of competitive programs. Eric Haynes has the story.
1 hour before practice is set to begin, Sam Galley has already started training, something that comes as no surprise to assistant coach Lexi Baird.
He just has that fire, like he wants it so bad, and he wants it more than 99% of people that walk into this building.
Before he was battling for national championships at the 147-pound weight class, Galley was a freshman in high school who liked to spar outside the ring.
My brother decided that if I was going to be fighting people, I might as well learn how to do it right. So I started learning how to box and do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
When it came to pick a college, Carolina boxing was the deciding factor for Galley, and he impressed from day one.
Sam clearly had sparring experience. He clearly knew what to do in the ring. He knew how to handle himself. He knew how to counterpunch.
Galley quickly became the club's head trainer a few months later, designing drills for all members. It's a job usually held by an upperclassman.
He's been able to reformat the practices in a way that everybody is able to understand these concepts and really gets enough time and gets the instruction that they need.
Seeing somebody else grow and grow to love the sport because of the knowledge you've given them, it's a pretty fantastic thing.
Despite his work in and out of the ring, Galley has fallen by decision in the quarterfinal of nationals the past 2 years. But he has already returned to practice and is looking forward to next season. I'm Eric Haynes, reporting.
You know, Josh, I think you should get in the ring with them.
Yeah, absolutely not. That's not happening. I'll take the PA announcing role, but there's no way I'm putting those gloves on. With that being said, hopefully Vans Honeycutt and Heels can give that knockout punch to Boston College this weekend.
I hope to see that, and we'll be back on Monday for a full weekend recap of Carolina athletics.